Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Saturday, December 12th at 3:26 a.m. Pacific Standard Time by Zeno Reader. There are 689 headlines from 108 fees we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Deadliest place in America, they shrugged off the pandemic, then their family and friends started dying. The virus is moving in, why California is losing the fight against COVID. Sidney Powell's secret source who used the pseudonym Spider and identified himself as a military intelligence expert in her evidence-free election fraud lawsuits is actually an IT consultant, report says. Republican Congressman rips Texas GOP for suggesting secession and says my guy Abraham Lincoln and the Union soldiers already told you no. The Electoral College will pick the president on Monday, here's what you should know. The Texas GOP had a fit after the Supreme Court rejected their bid to flip the election in Trump's favor, and now they're hinting at secession. Sarah Palin returns to the movement she started in Georgia runoff campaign. Man arrested in fatal shooting of 26-year-old intensive care unit nurse who was driving to work. Aztec Skull Tower, archaeologists unearth new sections in Mexico City. Mayor slams U.S. Marshal for uninformed statement on shooting. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Navy boats on standby to protect UK waters in case of no-deal Brexit, CNN. Montrezl Harrell focused on Lakers, not trash talk from Clippers, silver screen and roll. Shadowy Ethiopian massacre could be tip of the iceberg, the Associated Press. FDA's COVID-19 vaccine authorization is a monumental moment, expert says. It came on the deadliest day of the pandemic, CNN. These containers used to ship fresh tuna, now they'll deliver COVID-19 vaccines, CNN. Rep Jim Jordan, voters not knowing about Hunter Biden probe before election is just wrong, Fox News. 2 black men have been executed within 2 days, 2 more are set to die before Biden's inauguration, CNN. FDA authorizes Pfizer's COVID vaccine, Michigan will distribute in 4 phases, WDIV click on Detroit. Krispy Kreme donuts deal, get a dozen for a $1 Saturday for Day of the Dozens 2020, USA Today. Tommy Tiny Lister, Friday actor and wrestler, dies at 62, Salon. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Rare Christmas star to light up night sky for first time in hundreds of years. Chris Hayes goes to town on Trump, GOP for holding loaded gun to American democracy. Fallon taunts Trump with fake magazine honors after Time Person of the Year snub. Eric Trump's guerrilla marketing photo goes about as well as you'd expect. Twitter critics shred GOP lawmakers who shot themselves in the foot for Trump for nothing. Don Lemon sends scathing 5-word message to GOP backers of Trump's doomed overturn bid. Trump rants about getting screwed by Supreme Court in Twitter meltdown. Giuliani says Trump is looking at other options after Texas lawsuit bombs. Texas GOP boss hints at secession after Supreme Court drop kicks election suit. Nancy Pelosi laud Supreme Court for dismissing sham GOP election lawsuit. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Dog owner reunited after 348 days. Widow of ex-fire chief gets helping hand. Coffee paid forward for 244 days. Authorities shoot violent fugitive. Clinic sees spike in women wanting to freeze eggs. University hosts drive-through graduation. How truckers are staying on the road in tough year. Hospital gets ultra-cold freezer for COVID-19 vaccine. Couple delivers child at home W paramedic help. Man in prison for over 3 decades comes home. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Our food staff's 18 favorite holiday recipes. Treasure washes up on Venezuela shore, bringing gold and hope to a village. An indelible stain, how the GOP tried to topple a pillar of democracy. Protests erupt as South Korea's most notorious rapist walks free. Bhutan becomes latest Asian nation to dial back anti-gay laws. Cuomo tries to jolt public by warning of overwhelmed hospitals. Amid pandemic, scientists reassess routine medical care. 6 injured when driver rams into protest against ICE in Manhattan. Supreme Court rejects Texas lawsuit challenging Biden's victory. Democrats, and even some Republicans, cheer as justices spurn Trump. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Senator Tom Cotton, Rep Ken Buck, in Georgia runoffs, unchecked liberalism is on the ballot. Texas GOP Chair Allen West says Scott's setback may call for new union of law-abiding states. These were the most searched recipes in 2020, Google survey shows. Last-minute tech gifts to finish up your Christmas shopping. Dianne Feinstein defends work after New Yorker hit piece, but won't commit to finishing term. Live updates. FDA approves Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine for distribution. Live updates. AOC links Democrats winning Georgia runoffs to $15 minimum wage, expanded healthcare. Live updates. Giuliani says Supreme Court rejection of Texas lawsuit won't end election fight. Former New Jersey senator's property was site of fatal stabbing attack, reports. Rep. Jim Jordan, voters not knowing about Hunter Biden probe before election is just wrong. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Saturday, December 12th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. NFL Week 14 NFC East picks. Arizona offense is really the difference in why you want to choose the Giants in this game, says CBS New York's Steve Overmeyer. Kel Mitchell on MTV's Deliciousness, it's super funny and the videos you will see are crazy. Like he was there, late father buys son first beer on 21st birthday. I wanted a special that followed my career, Michael Costa on Michael Costa, Detroit, NYLA Comedy Central Special and The Daily Show. Fantasy football start or sit Week 14, very worried about Cousins, Vikings offense against Bucs says Heath Cummings. Chiefs Dolphins preview, Tua is going to have to put it on his shoulders, says CBS's Jay Feely. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, The Daily Mail. Primark fans queue overnight as Christmas shoppers prepare to blow $1.7 billion today. Scientists say Britain should cancel Christmas gatherings. Nation's favorite black and white Christmas films have been reimagined in color. Dozens of GPs opt out of Pfizer vaccine rollout next week. Woman angry her shed had not been built confronts indie band Shed 7 online by mistake. Prince Louis dons eye-catching blue felt jacket on family trip to West End pantomime. Kate and William's Christmas card photo is leaked on Facebook. Firms are still refusing to let desperate visitors hug their elderly loved ones. Elite girls boarding school Rodian rewrites its history syllabus. Chef serves up fish and chips pie as a substantial meal for Tier 2 pub drinkers and Tier 3 takeaway. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. At one Brazil hospital, the intensive care unit is full of COVID-19 patients. As Germany awaits vaccine, mass vaccination centers are built in less than a week. Italy's staggering virus toll poses uncomfortable questions. Shadowy Ethiopian massacre could be tip of the iceberg. Indonesian cleric turns himself in for COVID-19 violations. Chemical weapons watchdog criticizes Syria over 19 issues. AstraZeneca and Russia's Sputnik V lab to share data in seeking coronavirus vaccine advances. Europe rallies amid crisis, but its divisions show all the more. As the world executes fewer prisoners, the US government is executing ever more. The end of Brexit is finally in sight. What actually happened? The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's US news feed. Coronavirus live news. Community testing to begin in England Tier 3 areas, US vaccinations to start in 24 hours. Origin story. What do we know now about where coronavirus came from? Watch Huddle, A Tale of Two Penguins, video. So long, Topshop, I can tell the story of my life through stores I have loved and lost. Adley Freeman. There's nothing to prepare you, what it's like to witness an execution. Famous first words, how celebrities made their way onto children's bookshelves. David Attenborough, the earth and its oceans are finite, we need to show mutual restraint. In a nutshell, how the macadamia became a vulnerable species. Trump's coup is failing but American democracy is still on the critical list. COVID-19 has an odor, and the dogs are detecting it. Meet the canine super squad sniffing out the virus. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Snow and rain hit Midwest as storm brings snow from Rockies to Mississippi Valley. Hong Kong's Jimmy Lai deny bail as Pompeo tweets support. Wisconsin Supreme Court in Saturday session for Trump case. Supreme Court denies bid by Texas, Trump to overturn 2020 election. Portland police head asks activists to quit barricaded house. FDA authorizes first COVID-19 vaccine in United States. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Ruhollah Azam, Iran executes journalist accused of fanning unrest. Alfred Bourgeois, second death row inmate executed in 2 days. Zodiac killer, codebreaker solves San Francisco killer cipher. COVID, FDA approves Pfizer vaccine for emergency use in U.S. U.S. Supreme Court rejects Trump Act bid to overturn election. I got a tattoo on my torso to match my son's birthmark. The man behind Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. China COVID, infected woman defends herself after public shaming. G65, the woman who became a pop sensation at 65. How Saddam Hussein tried to break into the film business. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. COVID-19, resident of one of the country's hardest hit counties shares her experience. Today in history for December 12th. Coronavirus live updates. Trump says first Pfizer vaccines will be administered in less than 24 hours. U.S. allows emergency COVID-19 vaccine. I see bodies flying. Protesters in New York City struck by car. 6 injured. A historic event for humanity. U.S. reaches turning point in fight against COVID-19 as FDA authorizes Pfizer vaccine. In California, more ed fraud shenanigans, and travel restrictions explained. Supreme Court rejects GOP attack on Biden victory. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Deputies involved in Andres Guardado shooting relieved of duty in unrelated case. Riverside County grand jury indicts father for 8-year-old's murder and torture. Fairgrounds, theme parks open drive-through holiday shows to offset lost revenue. More eligible Californians voted in November's election than any time since 1952. Mavericks explodes with best waves in 10 years, pioneering waterman says. My son needs more than a screen, mom says as LAUSD taken to court to partially reopen schools. Man bought Maserati with unemployment money scammed from state ed, prosecutors say. Musician FKA Twigs accuses Sheila Booth of physical, emotional abuse in lawsuit. LA County at catastrophic COVID-19 levels, with 13,815 new cases and more than 500,000 total. South LA man killed with hammer by man he let stay in his backyard, authorities say. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Saturday, December 12th, 2020. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Brexit, armed Royal Navy boats on standby to protect UK waters in case of no deal. Iran executes journalist who encouraged 2017 protests. It can no longer be free to pollute. Updated Canadian climate plan includes carbon tax hikes. The aim is a 32% reduction in emissions by 2030, slightly more than Canada's 30% Paris Agreement commitment. Mexican photojournalist killed after taking photos of bodies along a road. Mexico. Psychedelic drug psilocybin to be used in Australia's first ever and largest psychedelic study to treat anxiety. Poland's new Department of European Identity seeks to ban LGBT ideology. Korean filmmaker Kim Ki-duk dies from COVID-19 complications. In boost to climate action, Britain to stop backing overseas oil and gas projects. Iceberg the size of Delaware on track to slam into South Atlantic Island. Nobody loves a house party more than COVID. Alberta launches new ad campaign. Trudeau hikes carbon tax in bid to reach 2030 climate goal. Psychedelic drug DMT to undergo first clinical trial to treat depression. Germany intensive care unit capacity at critical level. An intensive care doctor has warned that rising infections have left only 5 to 10% of intensive care beds available in parts of Germany. Tower of Human Skulls reveals grisly scale to archaeologists in Mexico City. New sections of the tower at the capital's Templo Mayor Aztec site include 119 skulls of men, women and children. The next headlines are from Forbes. Watch, UK Health Secretary Matt Hancock's weird COVID interview still has everyone talking. Japan foreign minister's 3 tests in Mauritius oil spill visit. In a strategically illegal move, a federal court in Pennsylvania upheld a challenged mask mandate. WWE SmackDown results, winners, news and notes on December 11, 2020. Which college athletes will be the new influencers in 2021? Interview, a chat with director Adam Egypt Mortimer about archenemy, superheroes, and genre film. Golfer Scott Stallings used Whoop data to help detect his COVID-19 symptoms. A new real estate website seeks to dethrone StreetEasy and parent Zillow. Sidney Powell asks Supreme Court to hear conspiracy-ridden Kraken lawsuit. Supreme Court rejects Trump Act Texas lawsuit trying to overturn election. The next headlines are from Nature.com. 5 steps for networking during a pandemic. River conservation by an indigenous community. Lockdown taught me the value of reading the manual. U.S. thumbs up for COVID vaccine marks new phase in safety monitoring. Genetic mechanisms of critical illness in COVID-19. Author correction, virological assessment of hospitalized patients with COVID 2019. Daily briefing, Australian COVID vaccine trial abandoned after HIV false positives. Author correction, enteric neurons increase maternal food intake during reproduction. Publisher correction, subducting carbon. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,672,162,633 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. The Bee Gees, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart review, the unthrilling documentary they deserve. Gunit Wonga boards India's Oscar entry Jallikattu as executive producer exclusive. Ronnie Blakely returns to music with a Dylan cover and a George Floyd songbook in the new album, Atom Bomb Baby. Mary Megan Pierce succeeds her father as CEO of Payer Music. Kid Cudi comes into greater focus on an accomplished man on the moon 3, The Chosen, album review. Justice League, Warner Media says it's concluded investigation, remedial action taken. Wander Darkly writer and director Tara Mila talks gender parity, Wonder Woman and Star Wars. Supreme Court rejects Texas suit seeking to overturn presidential vote. Variety names 10 directors to watch for 2021. Netflix releases first look at Beth Broderick, Caroline Rhea in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, TV News Roundup. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. FDA authorizes COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use in U.S. Supreme Court shuts door on Texas suit seeking to overturn election. Wisconsin hospital leader on getting ready for vaccinations. Hold their feet to the fire, getting a COVID-19 vaccine to hard-hit Indian country. Pregnant people haven't been part of vaccine trials, should they get the vaccine? Why do so many places in Texas have Negro in their name, despite a law against it? Former U.S. Marine found guilty of trying to smuggle firearms into Haiti. Christopher Nolan calls Warner Brothers' shift to streaming new movies a great danger. Alabama vows to fervently defend prison system against Justice Department lawsuit. Bad behavior by people in high office, Rachel Maddow on the lessons of Spiro Agnew. The following headlines are from the week. FDA authorizes emergency use for Pfizer vaccine. Supreme Court rejects Texas lawsuit seeking to overturn Biden's win. U.S. government buys another 100 million doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine. Democratic Congress member demands House leaders refuse to seat Republicans who support Texas election lawsuit. The Daily Gossip, Dolly Parton saved a kid's life, Disney shares big news, and more. The week's best photojournalism. Another 20 House Republicans join Texas lawsuit to overturn election. White House reportedly tells FDA commissioner to approve Pfizer vaccine on Friday. I'll resign. Will the U.S. hit 10,000 COVID deaths per day? FKA twigs Sushila Boo for relentless abuse. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Selena's life and legacy in Corpus Christi. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. The forces in spilled coffee awaken. How imaging science reveals historical secrets. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Comet records from 1240 accurately date when a Byzantine princess died. Why 2020 is a great year for the Geminid meteors. These are the news headlines for today, Saturday, December 12th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. New moon is December 14th, 2020. Will Jupiter and Saturn appear as a Christmas star in 2020? Find the Geminids' radiant point. 10 tips for watching the Geminids. Woodpecker's winter stash. The next news is from Politico. 8 things to know about Saturday's UN Climate Summit. Gingrich and Huckabee back Newsom recall effort. FDA authorizes first COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use. Hunter probe compounds Biden's Attorney General dilemmas. Supreme Court rejects Texas-led effort to overturn Biden's victory. California asks to join Department of Justice's Google suit. U.S. government buys another 100 million doses of Moderna vaccine. White House warns FDA chief to quickly authorize COVID vaccine or risk removal. Senate Republicans shun House GOP bid to overturn the election. Lawmakers strike deal to end surprise medical bills. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Renegades bowlers thrive in clinical win over Scorchers. Today's cartoons, the illustrated news. Best of Cartoons, December 13, 2020. Best of Cartoons, December 12, 2020. Land lease communities a viable homeowner option. The right watches are even more sought after with time. Oldest boat in Sydney to Hobart keeps a sociable distance. The dry star Genevieve O'Reilly on finding a place to call home. Great holiday reads, from page turners to perfect prose. Tension doesn't make us fall apart, rather, it keeps us together. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. The Wall Street Journal, Trump inclined to tap special counsel to probe election loss to Biden. First COVID-19 vaccine receives emergency use authorization from US FDA. The Moneyest, I stayed in an Airbnb on my parents' street for Thanksgiving. My mom pleaded with me not to write a bad review. What do I do? The Moneyest, my friend's father buried $50,000 in the backyard for his grandchildren. My friend has 2 kids, but his spendthrift brother has none. Should they split it? The Moneyest, I'm 12 and in 7th grade. My parents are divorced, and I earn $10 a month from my podcast. What do you advise? Keywords, Dr. Fauci, for the first time in more than 30 years, I'm not spending the Christmas holidays with my daughters. As some hospitals near 90% capacity due to COVID-19, this map can tell you if your local hospital is almost full. There's always a lot of hype around IPOs. Read this before buying Airbnb stock. Millions of Americans are in survival mode. Beware, decisions made in this frame of mind can make or break you. The Moneyest, my wife and I have 3 kids. I also have 3 kids from a previous marriage. How should we split our house among these 6 children? Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Breaking, FDA authorizes Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine, mass device. Like dominoes, CBM determination held not appealable Jones Day, JD Supra. Acacia Research Corporation, ACTG, source 3.13% on December 11th equities.com. UTA faculty member named fellow by National Academy of Inventors, Fort Worth Business Press. Roche, Diabolute partner on insulin pump management, mass device. Ericsson files lawsuit against Samsung in patent license Roe, Fierce Wireless. Seed, 70 years of innovations, automotive world. Mind the Gap, the IP protection law versus reality in Indonesia, intellectual property, Indonesia, Mondak News alerts. CAFC finds district court abused discretion in declining to transfer ownership of foreign patents, IPWatchdog.com. Why intellectual property, IP, is important in gaming, Euro Weekly News. The next headlines are from Quartz. Google showed us the danger of letting corporations lead AI research. Amazon is going to generate its own renewable electricity over South Africa's national grid. How the U.S. plans to track COVID-19 vaccine doses. More U.S. counties than ever reported record COVID-19 deaths this week. Brazil is holding the climate hostage for $10 billion annually. These U.S. states will use a disadvantage index to determine who gets vaccinated first. How to determine the accuracy of a COVID-19 test. The U.S. Development Corp is betting $300 million on Africa's rising demand for data storage. 5 years after Paris, how do countries' climate policies match up to their promises? Why paying people to get the coronavirus vaccine won't work. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Cyberpunk 2077 stream safe setting option for its music failed to keep streamers safe. Content moderation case study, Facebook's AI continues to struggle with identifying nudity, 2020. Apple, Cloudflare join forces to encrypt DNS. Can broadband policy help create a more equitable and inclusive economy and society instead of the reverse? House passes Pacer bill as budget office says it will cost less than $1 million a year to provide free access to court documents. Daily Deal, Salesforce Administrator Certification Practice Tests and Course Bundle. Supreme Court says Muslim men can sue the FBI for placing them on the no-fly list for refusing to become informants. Deep Dive shows FCC's COVID response was largely theatrical nonsense. ICE withdraws demand for journalists' sources after having its unconstitutional demands outed by BuzzFeed. Nintendo hates you, DMCA takedowns of game music continue while Nintendo offers no legit way to listen. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. UFC 256. Arizona State football. Lakers. Rockets vs. Bulls. Knicks. It's a Wonderful Life. Songbird. Lil Wayne. Tulsi Gabbard. Dilber. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Like father, like daughter, Frank Mir's 17-year-old daughter Bella sends opponent to sleep in latest MMA win, video. Australian MP calls on Trump to pardon Assange before leaving WH. Hillary hates his guts. Biden calls him a high-tech terrorist. Gang of violent ultra-left activists charged with forming terrorist group to wage guerrilla warfare in France, reports. What a KO. British middleweight Nathias Frederick lands massive left hook at Cage Warriors 118, video. Sanctions kill people they're supposed to be protecting and undermine entire system of human rights and humanitarian aid, UN. Bringing water to Wall Street may spark bubble for the world's most vital resource, UN warns. Major Australian firms pay more in political donations than taxes. Supreme Court really let us down, Trump tweets after crucial election lawsuit defeat, promises to fight on. Global economy to contract by 5.6% this year due to pandemic, UN. Deliberate stigmatization, Austria's top court overturns headscarf ban in primary schools. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Former Special Forces officer warns of color revolution tactics used against Trump. A medical miracle, Trump Hair American League Division Series FDA approval of Pfizer-BioNTech COVID vaccine for emergency use. Microsoft Asia's AI girlfriend has a state-imposed filter to avoid sex and politics. The dehumanizing danger of social media. Ben & Jerry's unveil super woke Kaepernick ice cream to dismantle systems of oppression. Saudi Arabia sends Joe Biden mixed messages. 2020 takes toll on mental health. What if all Americans exercised regularly? Winter storm possible next week in mid-Atlantic puts outdoor dining in jeopardy. Who the resistance was actually resisting these last 4 years. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Trump, we achieved goal of vaccine by year's end that some said couldn't be done. Giuliani says Trump team not finished after Supreme Court defeat. FDA approves Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine. Schiff, Republicans who signed on to TX lawsuit a danger to the country. GOP Rep. Schumer, Wyden meddled with FBI by telling them how to handle Biden family investigations. Report, Department of Justice opened separate probe into Hunter Biden's Ukraine dealings. CNN's Blitzer, Scott's rejection of Texas lawsuit huge slap in the face to Trump. All 3 Trump Supreme Court appointees decline Texas election case. Supreme Court dismisses Texas 2020 election challenge, Alito and Thomas disagree. Student loan debt forgiveness policy causing clash between Biden and left. The next headlines are from UPI News. Man buys 160 tickets for one lottery drawing, wins 160 times. Metal detecting club finds lost wedding ring at Florida Beach. Sentence spelled out by balloons breaks Guinness record. Lost cat found 1 year later, 75 miles away. Magazine returned to Manitoba Library was 45 years overdue. Watch, Secret Santa pays off $65,000 worth of layaway items at Walmart. Valuable painting left behind at airport found in the paper recycling. Watch, dump ducks rescued from New York City Park. The next headlines are from Odd, Strange and Bizarre Things. The best Netflix murder documentaries of 2020. How poor is using a fake tree at Christmas? Poor. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. See the stunning winners of the Northern Lights Photographer of the Year competition. Blind mice with glaucoma see again through simple technique that promotes youthful gene expression. Conservation success for European bison is living proof that ambitious biodiversity targets work. 2 lonely otters introduced at a sanctuary are now living happily ever after. He designed a smartwatch app to help stop his dad's nightmares and it was life-changing. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Saturday, December 12th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Trump refuses to come out of his bedroom and attend White House Christmas party after Scott's defeat. Iranian teenager who posted distorted pictures of herself is jailed for 10 years. New Nevada and New California, 2 states that don't exist, join lawsuit to overturn election result. Man riding lawnmower on a 75, charged with DUI in Topeka. Woman dies after dropping iPhone in bath while it was charging. Amazon driver dumped packages in woods, claimed was tossing feces, cops say. Police respond to break-in, find music video shoot instead. Japan tasks AI matchmaking to pair singles based on emotional quotient. Alcoholic soup in a cup now on sale to keep Japan warm and buzz this winter. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. I like Cyberpunk 2077, but it really should not be this broken. A Beginner's Guide to AI, the difference between human and machine intelligence. Backlash intensifies, Pitchay's promises too little to quell outrage over Timnit's Jebru's firing. Road testing EVs, FEVs, and HEVs, how different are they on the streets? Privacy advocates poop on UK supermarket's facial recognition system. How different types of hybrid vehicle actually work. NetSpot Home Wi-Fi Analyzer can get to the heart of home Wi-Fi trouble in minutes. Famed footballer cuts ties with Huawei over AI Uyghur alert. 4 tips to survive your startup's awkward adolescence. Visa and MasterCard block Pornhub payments over allegations of illegal content. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Muscle cell secrets. The secret behind male ornaments. Gut microbiota plays a role in brain function and mood regulation. 2, 6, many, emergence of collective behavior. What makes hard workout so effective? The robot made me do it. Robots encourage risk-taking behavior in people. The pressure sensor of a Venus flytrap. Mass extinctions of land-dwelling animals occur in 27 million year cycle. Artificial intelligence improves control of powerful plasma accelerators. Test your heart health by climbing stairs. The next headlines are from Information Week. How to create a plan of action if Agile Dev strategy fails. Ways data scientists can stand out in the virtual hiring process. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Saturday, December 12th from over 100 sources to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA awards Venture Class Launch Services Demonstration 2 contract. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Letter, let's review the facts. Rapid City Rush surge past Utah Grizzlies and ECHL opener. Utah women's basketball team defeats Montana State 73-63 in home opener. Letter, it's not censorship if it's on private property. Charlie Warshall, inside the battle between Biden and Facebook. Exclusive, Robert Redford sells Sundance Mountain Resort to pair of high-end resort firms. Letter, choose to be a hero. Man dies in Murray shooting. Rich Lowry, the glory of Trump's judges. Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes disappointed in Supreme Court rejection of election lawsuit. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. The Zodiac Killer's cipher has been solved after 51 years. Is Warner Bros. Shift to streaming new movies a great danger? FDA approves Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use in America. Florida governor defends police raid on COVID data whistleblower. Google will let you limit the alcohol and gambling ads you see. Norman Abramson, pioneer behind wireless networks, dies at 88. Key people are leaving Facebook and torching the company in departure notes. Big tech firms too face 6% fines if breach new EU content rules. How the Nature Conservancy, the world's biggest environmental group, became a dealer of meaningless carbon offsets. Oracle is moving its headquarters from Silicon Valley to Austin, Texas. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Surveillance video released on investigation into fatal crash, driver going 120 miles per hour. First COVID-19 vaccine authorized for use in the United States. Treat it like the vaccine doesn't exist. Governor Pritzker asks those not getting vaccine in first round to continue wearing masks. Missouri Conservation Commission approves bear hunting plan. Flags to fly at half-staff in honor of Moline Acres police sergeant killed in line of duty. Missouri will start COVID-19 vaccines next Thursday pending FDA approval. Congress averts shutdown, sends government funding bill to President Trump. Court rules that St. Louis County can keep indoor dining COVID-19 restrictions in place. Biden formally introduces more cabinet nominees. Just 5 hunters chosen to participate in inaugural elk hunting season. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Music venue weathers pandemic storm with streaming shows. 1 dead in East County shooting near Vaughn's parking lot. USD men's basketball home opener postponed. Carlsbad restaurateurs, others open in peaceful protest, defying stay-at-home order. Border businesses feel financial strain as travel restrictions extended. Judge orders OC jail population halved over virus danger. 2 plead not guilty to murder in teen South Bay shooting. Texas GOP chairman suggests seceding from the U.S. following Supreme Court rejection. U.S. carries out second execution this week, Alfred Bourgeois put to death. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. UK Arborin receives Ukrainian Army order for 75 BTR-4 combat vehicles. German Army receives 20,000 next-generation combat helmets. Buy Systems awarded $184 million for ACV-48 production. U.S. Navy completes 2 flight tests with the newest Tomahawk cruise missile variant. U.S. Navy awards contract to Kratos for additional BQM-177A target drones. U.S. Air Force to retire 17 of the oldest B-1 bombers in 2021. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. Bloomberg News staffer detained, Jimmy Lai charged on vague national security grounds as Beijing stifles news media. With DNA tests for $3, Chinese startup Genebox raises tens of millions. Mixed reactions on Chinese social media to news of Pete Buttigieg's possible ambassadorship. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Saturday, December 12, 2020. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. COVID cases rising, more Bay Area hospitals approach intensive care unit capacity. Stay-at-home order begins in Sonoma County. COVID-19 disproportionately high among SF's Latinx community. San Mateo company businesses brace for potential shutdown. Traveling to Tahoe, officials urge visitors to follow COVID guidelines. Fines for violating health orders could be increased in this Bay Area county. Bay Area female football player continues to break barriers. How soon are you immune to the coronavirus after receiving the COVID-19 vaccine? 26-year-old intensive care unit nurse shot, killed on her way to work. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. John Wall back on floor, NBA opens preseason in empty arenas. Protesters hurl eggs as South Korea releases child rapist. Territorial rout, Arizona state blows out rival Arizona's 70-7. Portland police ask for clear streets at barricaded house. U.S. allows emergency COVID-19 vaccine in bid to end pandemic. As he rails on election, Trump largely mum on coronavirus. It's just a heart-wrenching tragedy, 2 girls killed, 4 people injured in Ingleside fire. Jim Burns, State Inspector General, dies at 75. FDA authorizes Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use. Residents moving into 6-story Uptown 500 complex in Wheeling. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Refusing to concede lost election, Washington gubernatorial candidate Lauren Culp sues Sec of State. It's in the PI. Seattle Public Library offers free access to Seattle Post-Intelligencer archives. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Algeria, Morocco. Drought is ongoing in Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Moldova, Romania, Russia, Ukraine. Drought is ongoing in China, India, Nepal, Pakistan. Drought is ongoing in Canada, Mexico, United States. Drought is ongoing in Australia. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil, Peru, Paraguay. Drought is ongoing in Armenia, Azerbaijan, Israel, Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Paraguay, Uruguay. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.5 m, depth 59.58 km, in Japan December 12, 2020, 7:18 UTC, 1,280,000 people within 100 kilometers. Green alert for tropical cyclone 420, population affected by category 1, 120 kilometers per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Saturday, December 12th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Foggy start on Saturday, rain returns Sunday. DPS trooper fatally shoots robbery suspect in Northwest Houston, HPD confirms. FDA grants emergency use authorization for Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. All clear after brief shelter-in-place order for LaPorte residents. State Representative candidates Richard Bondon and Natasha Deming indicted by Harris County grand jury on election fraud and threat charges. FBI says money mule schemes may be on the rise amid unemployment. The Shot, race for the vaccine town hall with Dr. Jen Ashton. NY Police Department's new robot dog, Digidog, is already saving lives. Texas businesses in need of COVID-19 relief bill to help cover pandemic debt. Cheer star Jerry Harris faces new child pornography, sex crime charges. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Mystery over absence of Algeria leader treated for COVID-19. Leaders fight 5 years of Paris Climate Pact, without U.S. Flamethrower drone incinerates wasp nests in China. Shadowy Ethiopian massacre could be tip of the iceberg. Indonesian cleric turns himself in for COVID-19 violation. Venezuela opposition holds consultation to bolster support. Supreme Court rejects Republican attack on Biden victory. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Coronavirus updates, FDA authorizes Pfizer vaccine, paving way for distribution next week. Extra, White House tells FDA chief to resign if he doesn't approve COVID vaccine today. Multiple protesters injured after motorist drives through anti-ICE demonstration. 2 men die in separate fatal car crashes in Queens. New York's 2020 electors head to Albany, including big city mayors, but not de Blasio. A glimpse inside hundreds of Brooklyn apartments in the 1970s. NYC Christmas tree vendors pleasantly surprised by so many early sales. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. NYC blows past all 3 COVID indicators for first time. Cyclist killed in East Harlem after crash involving truck driver, illegally parked car. The next headlines are from Observer.com. Your best new movies and TV to watch this weekend. Disney retools its streaming strategy after Disney Plus shatters expectations. Utah senator stands in the way of Smithsonian's plan to build 2 new museums. MoMA fills a collection gap, showing off new acquisitions of photo montage. Airbnb CEO is now worth $11 billion while 2,000 laid-off employees miss out. Wild Mountain time isn't perfect, but its unrequited love shines through. Prince George and Princess Charlotte are finally on vacation for the holidays. Here's what it takes to be an internet boyfriend or girlfriend. The key to Disney's strategy was hidden in its flood of announcements. Branson's Virgin Travel empire is still struggling to survive a pandemic. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. Next, info on a few earthquakes today from earthquaketoday.com. Light earthquake, 4.5 mag has occurred near Villa El Carmen in Nicaragua. Minor earthquake, M3 quake has struck near Mina in Nevada. Minor earthquake, M3.1 quake has struck near Mina in Nevada. Minor earthquake, 3.34 mag has occurred near Puerto Rico region. Minor earthquake, 3.6 mag was detected near Goldfield in Nevada. Minor earthquake, M3.7 quake has struck near Mina in Nevada. Minor earthquake, M3.28 quake has struck near Olancha in CA. Minor earthquake, 3.7 mag has occurred near Mina in Nevada. Light earthquake, 4 mag was detected near Tabelo in Indonesia. Moderate earthquake, 5 mag strikes near Mina in Nevada. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. We all deserve protection from COVID-19. The first global event in the history of humankind. Romans' bodies, COVID-19 and male chauvinism. A vaccine that was hijacked by the rich. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Australia scraps billion-dollar coronavirus vaccine after participants test HIV positive. Patriot Act used by the FBI to collect internet browsing data, contradicting claims made to oversight. Free speech is being weaponized, Columbia Dean and New Yorker writer urges more censorship. NJ lawmaker wants mandatory corona shot for all kids without exemption. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Did a man sue Chick-fil-A over long drive-through lines? Northern Lights a big miss, U.S. space forecaster says. Supreme Court rejects Texas attack on Biden victory. Viral spread, Americans paying the price for Thanksgiving. As he rails on election, Trump largely mum on coronavirus. Can an 18-year-old legally adopt a 17-year-old? Baseless claims fill Trump-backed election case. Is Olive Garden going out of business? Did the sky turn purple in Sweden? Does pouring dish soap down drains remove clogs? The next headlines are from factcheck.org. 9 election fraud claims, none credible. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Scouted gift pick, a robe that's really a wearable comforter. The first modern victim of fake news was a socialist. Johnny Depp's very expensive shittiness, by the numbers. A sex worker, her Christian mother, and adult son in conversation. Bad news for evangelicals, God doesn't need Donald Trump in the White House. Mark Pickard used to edit Broadway's playbill, he's way happier working in gay porn. Protests, marches, and some serious show for blowing, Trumpers set to descend on DC yet again. Oh, the places Ivanka won't go. Trump's GOP gives up on greatness and tries to tear America apart. America's hidden world of handmade pornography. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Los Angeles Times columnist urges Senator Dianne Feinstein to resign. Jets, Giants will want to keep eye on North Carolina linebacker Chaz Surratt. Man struck and killed in NYC, driver flees. Walmart to give COVID-19 vaccine following FDA approval. Allison Mack files for divorce from wife Nikki Klein. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. NASA's failures, robotic space missions that didn't go as planned. The sky this week. It's time for the Geminids. Do meteor showers create meteorites? You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. What is Brood X, the U.S. cicada infestation coming in 2021? World's largest iceberg on collision course with Penguin Colony Island. How scientists pulled off a COVID-19 vaccine in warp speed time. Carbon dioxide emissions dropped by 7% in 2020, study shows. Extraordinary rate of change as the Arctic warms, NOAA says. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. History Channel found evidence that human DNA might contain an encoded alien message. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Notorious child rapist released from South Korean prison to massive protests, with people throwing eggs. Cheer star Jerry Harris hit with 7 new child sex charges. Alfred Bourgeois put to death for abusing, killing 2-year-old daughter in second federal execution in as many days. Operator of neo-Nazi site not paying $14 judgment, says woman who sued him. Mexico fourth nation to approve emergency use of Pfizer coronavirus vaccine. AP source, Cuomo among contenders for Attorney General pick. Dad spends 30 hours getting tattooed to match son's birthmark. I knew he was self-conscious about it. Supreme Court rejects faceless Texas lawsuit to overturn Biden's victory, ending Trump's election war. Sharpton fuming with Stringer campaign hire, bigoted strategist, says Reverend. Youth football coach caught hitting child twice on video to face abuse charges. The following headlines are from military.com. Steep learning curve, muted response to VA secretary nominee from veterans groups. Air Force ID's guard captain killed in Michigan F-16 crash, base flight ops halted. Senate sends Trump defense bill he has vowed to veto. Navy's future light amphibious ships will be designed to operate off China's coast. Congress wants to beef up Army effort to develop counter-drone weapons. Parts of Yongsan garrison among a dozen U.S. military sites being returned to South Korea. Air Force HAPS bonus eligible job list as retention levels reach record highs. U.S. service member in Germany is first active duty soldier to die from COVID-19, reports indicate. Trump administration plans to raid war chest to pay for big Navy shipbuilding plan. Senator Rand Paul delays defense bill vote over troop drawdowns. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Doctors to answer reader questions about COVID-19 vaccinations December 14th and 16th on Facebook Live. Pritzker put on defensive by COVID-19 outbreak that tore through LaSalle VA home with terrifying speed. Coronavirus in Illinois updates, 9,420 new COVID-19 cases and 190 additional fatalities reported, as state passes 14,000 deaths and Chicago area hospitals get ready for vaccine. Local hospitals ready to give first COVID-19 vaccines to employees as soon as next week. We just pray that we get the strength to keep going day by day. Family cancels pilgrimage after third brother dies of coronavirus. Illinois surpasses 14,000 COVID-19 deaths less than a week after hitting 13,000 mark. Pfizer vaccine authorized by FDA. What's it like to take part in a COVID-19 vaccine trial? 3 local participants share their experiences. Former U.S. Attorney Jim Burns dies at 75 following career that took him from basketball court to federal courthouse. Column, this is the best holiday song of 2020, the year of muddling through somehow. Corrections and clarifications. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Mexican experts find 119 more skulls on Aztec trophy rack. Explainer, the real math behind net zero carbon emissions. EU leaders agree to reduce emissions after all-night talks. Researchers discover strong correlation between partisanship and social mobility during COVID-19 pandemic. Polarization increases with economic decline, becoming cripplingly contagious. Effective planning ahead protects fish and fisheries. A theory is clear as glass. Snow leopard at Kentucky Zoo tests positive for coronavirus. 5 years on, signs the Paris Climate Accord is working. Sea star listed as critically endangered following research. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Saturday, December 12th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Magic mushrooms are expanding minds and advancing an emerging field of science. Why some people are still on the fence about the new vaccine for COVID-19. Cooked veggies are often more nutritious than raw. Here's why. Earth isn't the only ocean world in the solar system. World's smallest dinosaur may actually be an ancient lizard. Medical reviews, scam complaints or weight loss supplement ingredients work. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Verstappen leads Albon in final practice for Abu Dhabi GP. Swiss skier Mauro Caviezel gets first World Cup win at age 32. Schifrin third in World Cup giant slalom first run, Vlhova leads. San Jose State beats Nevada, advances to MWC championship game. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Bridge, December 12, 2020. Word Game, December 12, 2020. Horoscopes December 12, 2020, Mime Bialik, keep a low profile. Ask Amy, I'm tired of women who have babies and then whine that it's hard. Harriet Cole, should I tell my parents I'm gay before they meet my fiancé? Miss Manners, what can she say to her client's unkind comments? Dear Abby, this kitten has taken our devastating tragedy to a new level. San Jose State football, Spartans rally to beat Nevada, will play for Mountain West title. Cupertino man sentenced to 4 years in prison for embezzling $7.5 million in church funds. Prominent architects group prohibits design of death chambers. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. 2 charged with stealing ventilators headed to El Salvador. Florida sisters impact fishing industry through blogging. Snake and eggs, Floridians could soon eat invasive pythons. The latest, Tokyo cases hit record amid government criticism. Bismarck choir director uses technology to produce Messiah. The next headlines are from The Intercept. France's Macron is ramping up a clash of civilizations, but will it stop terrorism? Tom Vilsack for Agriculture Secretary is everything that's wrong with the Democratic Party. Hollywood deployed lobbyists to win exemptions to strict California lockdown. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Saturday, December 12, 2020. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Patients with non-cardiac chest pain are reassured with brief education. Pizza can help address the dark matter mystery. New report finds global health research infrastructure imperiled by COVID-19. New insights into glioblastoma invasiveness. Trapping nanoparticles with optical tweezers. The Protein Society announces 2022 appointment of Protein Science Editor-in-Chief. Pitt scientists identify genetic risks of rare inflammatory disease. Genes could be key to new COVID-19 treatments, study finds. A matter of balance, asymmetric divisions are crucial to form a functional retina. How AI could make therapeutic decision-making for breast cancer more accurate, affordable. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Examining Bears GM Ryan Pace's 6 biggest mistakes. Mayor Lightfoot promised environmental justice, but the city's actions say the opposite. 1 man in custody after shots fired at Chicago police. Man, 71, missing from suburban countryside. Missing teen frequents heart of Chicago, police. Man shot in the hand by off-duty police officer in Albany Park. Horoscope for Saturday, December 12, 2020. 3rd man ordered held without bail in fatal South Shore shooting. On a very unique night, the New Look Bulls had a familiar smell. Any effort to weaken Chicago's anti-puppy mill ordinance barks up the wrong tree. The following headlines are from Riverfront Times St. Louis. Synchronized St. Louis Santa Flash mob hits the streets to promote toy drive. Acclaimed St. Louis chef Gerard Kraft launches new spirits brand, La Verida. Missouri bills seek to shield drivers who hit protesters. The next headlines are from Detroit Metro. Top-rated CBD products reviews. Longtime Detroit food distributor will match $100K if people order carry-out from their favorite local spots. Michigan Senate passes sweeping criminal justice reform bills. Wayne County offers $500 one-time cash cards for eligible workers impacted by COVID-19. Kevin Saunderson and Idris Elba debut new video with Detroit Will Breathe activists center stage. Kid Rock sports Waffle House face mask, says Michael Jackson was ahead of his time for mask wearing. More Michigan farmers stand up to climate change threats. 25 of the best comfort food restaurants in Metro Detroit, according to Yelp. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Saturday, December 12, 2020. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. U.S. Supreme Court throws out Texas AG Paxton's last-ditch election challenge. 3 local Democrats indicted for election fraud in Texas House races. NFL Week 14, Texans Bears, 4 things to watch for. Houston's 5 best weekend food bets, place your pre-orders for Hanukkah delights. Reviews for the uneasily quarantined, I'm Your Woman. Openings and closings, Trey's Tacos and Hidden on the Case opening, Morning Star shutters. 12 days of favorite Houston food and drink experiences in 2020, Part 3, Wine. You likely have COVID-19 alert tech in your pocket, but state and local health departments are ignoring it. The challenge on MTV continues to get bigger, bolder and tougher. Isaac Rodriguez on the particular brilliance of the ain't no big thing. The next headlines are about world records making news. Dubai's Global Village breaks 6 of 25 world records it's attempting, Khaleej Times. Samantha Briggs makes her move, sets world record in episode 2 of the Spartan Games, morning chalk up. James Martin gives rare insight into private life as he details world record accolade, Daily Express. 14-year-old Kansas girl shoots world record breaking buck, Wayne. This glittering ring broke the Guinness World Record, unreserved media. Lee Towel woman new Guinness record holder for most chest to ground burpees, CTV News London. Sentence spelled out by balloons breaks Guinness record, UPI News. World record attempt at this weekend's virtual Jingle Bell Run, Fox8.com. Strictly star Nadia Bychkova sets Guinness World Record, Daily Mail. Cheap Perovskite tandem solar cell breaks new world record at 30% efficiency, ZME Science. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Zodiac killer's cipher cracked by amateur codebreakers more than 50 years later. The FDA has authorized Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use. Oracle ditches Silicon Valley for Austin, Texas. Candles recalled for presenting fire hazard. Turns out pretty much anyone can claim to be a Mac-owned business on Uber Eats. The top new features to try out in macOS Big Sur. This hideously expensive smart bed cured my back pain. Matt Smith and Olivia Cooke join Game of Thrones prequel House of the Dragon. Someone managed to overclock a 14-year-old Intel processor to 8.36 GHz. The 10 best deals of December 11, 2020. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Rivadavia in Argentina at 111.2 degrees Fahrenheit or 44 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Ojmchikin in Russia at minus 68.08 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 55.6 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Head of FDA on chopping block as Trump rages over vaccine authorization, updated. Apple is full steam ahead on replacing Qualcomm modems with its own. Apple's App Store is an illegal monopoly, rival Cydia claims in suit. Where do I go now that CentOS Linux is gone? Check our list. Facebook says hackers backed by Vietnam's government are linked to IT firm. Boston Dynamics sells to Hyundai Motor Group in $1.1 billion deal. The Expanse S5 review, the show is bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Mass Effect will return, teaser trailer sets a new, old, direction for the sequel. We've got our first real look at Loki as Disney drops lengthy teaser trailer. Wormable code execution flaw in Cisco Jabber has a severity rating of 9.9 out of 10. Next, announcements from the World Health Organization. Leading through example, Norway paves the way to ensure equal access to COVID-19 treatments and develops trailblazing flagship initiative on non-communicable diseases. WHO, IFRC sign Memorandum of Understanding on Emergency Medical Teams. New checklist supports schools to reopen and prepare for COVID-19 resurgences. Call for action, managing the infodemic. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Trump declares Supreme Court decision against his conspiracy theories an embarrassment to the USA. Trump freaks out in after midnight Twitter meltdown about getting screwed. Trump whines about losing on Twitter after skipping White House Christmas party. SCOTUS just threw out the election case Trump called the big one in a humiliating rejection. Dan Crenshaw worked with Trump's VA secretary to smear Vitt who alleged sexual assault, IG. Trump is frustrated with Bill Barr, and may appoint 2 special counsels in his final days, report. Don Lemon rips Republicans who went along with Trump's doomed lawsuits, hang your head in shame. Jake Tapper says America has never seen someone lose as big as Trump has with his post-election lawsuits. This will what us, McDowell breaks down how Trump botched the coronavirus vaccine. Consumer protection alert ad by Republicans for the rule of law warns Fox and Newsmax of new Trump scam. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Ryan Zinke's official portrait is a final slap in the face for Native American tribes. The Supreme Court just threw out Texas' absurd election lawsuit. It's time for the Mother Jones Taylor Swift Slack channel's takes on Evermore. A pro-Trump voting expert was questioned about his data. It did not go well for him. How a private prison company's defamation suit against one of its critics backfired. Friday Cat blogging December 11, 2020. There's no quick fix for healing democracy. White House to FDA, approve Pfizer vaccine or else. How do people really decide which healthcare plan to choose? Californians love to brag about their wokeness, so why do they keep rejecting progressive ballot measures? The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Looking for alien life at Ole Miss News, Ole Miss News. Here's how scientists protect Earth from extraterrestrial germs. National Geographic. Texans ain't ready for extraterrestrial reveal, scientist says. He has obviously never been here. Local profile. Arecibo telescopes flawless indicative of global divide around funding science infrastructure. The Conversation US. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Measuring neurological impact of polio proves useful in SMA study. SMA News Today. Ayahuasca saved my life. News. AnchoragePress.com. Anchorage Press. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Saturday, December 12, 2020 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Nick Pope revisited. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Saturday, December 12, 2020. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. True Strange News Fair Use Statement. No Views News is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2020 by No Views News. All rights reserved.